Henry David Thoreau once said, "Things do not change, we change." We learned about this in English class. Thoreau was talking about sucking the marrow out of life. He was talking about marching to the beat of your own drum. He was talking about living true to yourself, about making your voice heard, about making a difference. He was also talking about civil disobedience, about activism. He saw something wrong with the world, and even though he was just one man, he wanted to change it. He didn't follow other people's paths. He made his own. He did what he thought was right. I'm not a remarkable teenager. I do moderately well in class, and I like participating. I have enough friends to keep me occupied during the weekends and holidays, but not so many that I text an instant message constantly throughout the day. So when my teacher assigned the class a documentary project, I immediately thought about Thoreau and the courage and individualism that breeds activism. I wanted to know more about what inspired people to take a stand and what I could do to make the most of my life and stand up for what I believed in. This is my story.
She was a barista who's devoted hours to the dream of a more sustainable food source for the planet, and she hasn't even graduated. She was an average neighborhood lady with a hefty handful of cuddly cats, until she volunteered her life to the cause of humane treatment of animals. He was a wealthy businessman who gave up his successful dry cleaning chain to pursue his idea of a pure world teeming with verdant flora. In the course of history, the majority has always been led by the minority, and in these trying times, a small group of activists have stepped up to the challenge. These are experienced businessmen and passionate students. They are fathers and sons, brothers and sisters. These are the Armchair Warriors. They are the crest of a wave of change in America. They are the heroes, and sometimes the villains, of activism in a world of conflicting cultures and ideas in close quarters. They are the warriors of the earth, the resounding barbaric yops above the rooftops, and the defenders of the spirits of the wild and natural world among us. Caden Kwok is a high school student who has embarked on an epic journey to discover these heroes that have changed society due to their amazing armchair activism. Let's join him in his quest and catch a glimpse of the brave new world that unfolds before him. Three of the foremost activists of our time agreed to sit down with Caden and discuss their visions, struggles, and successes. Caden's first stop was the office of Rupert Morris White, who currently heads an environmentalist organization called Gaia Initiatives to raise awareness and fund projects encouraging long-term environmental sustainability. Caden also visited Oregano Morona, author of the world-renowned site Fun with Veganism. She has been known for her passion and drive and her generous donations to many charities. Many of her followers are famous as well, spreading her message throughout the community. And finally, Xenia Lovewood, who was a typical anonymous cat lady until she rose to fame when she founded PETA, the People for the Impeccable Treatment of Animals, and became a significant figure in the Humane Society.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. White.
Oh, no problem, son.
Your house is really quite incredible.
Yeah, it is. Just, let's see. Absolutely, Mr. White. Absolutely.
Mr. White, please. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your company and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm the former CEO of the dry cleaning company Clean as White, and a former environmental philanthropist. And at my company, which is called Gaia Initiatives, we look at different proposals for environmental projects, and we fund the ones that we believe to be the most promising.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Miss Morona.
Oh no, it's no problem at all. Look, it's dinner time right now. Do you want to try some of my vegan pot roast?
No, thank you. Good. No, it's all right.
All right, if you're sure.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Oregano Morona, and I'm right now a college student, and I'm majoring in communications, but I also work as a barista at Phil's Coffee. But
thank you for joining us tonight, Miss Lovewood.
Oh, it's no problem at all. Thank you so very much for having me. My name is Xenia, spelled with an X, and I am the Director of Research inspections, introspections, interjections, insurrections, and investigations at the Humane Society and the Vice President / CEO of PITA or PETA.
So, tell me a bit about the projects you sponsor.
Okay, well, one of the main projects we're doing right now is involved in cleaning up the river and instructing people to take more responsibility for their litter. That one, of course, is very community-oriented. But we also have a more high-tech project that involves designing a windmill with a more efficient design to bring cleaner and cheaper energy to the entire Bay Area.
Okay. Yeah, so that project's been attracting a lot of media attention. How are they going?
Alright, listen. I'm not actually involved in any of these projects. You know, I just sign off on whatever they give me. I do know for a fact, though, that the River project has been going excellently and that they are working wonders down there. Excuse me. Allergies, you know how they are.
Did you just use a plastic bag as your Kleenex?
Oh, yes, you should try it. They feel so much more luxurious than regular tissues. Oh, speaking of plastic bags, let me show you our latest projects. You like it? Call it Friends of the Sea. So we get school children to decorate these plastic bags, and then we release them into the ocean where they can be friends with the sea creatures. Let me show you some more.
But the most important thing that I do is I run a blog called Fun with Veganism. And what I do on the blog is I post a lot of, little recipes and pictures of healthy meals that you can make that are all obviously vegan. Because I think that it is really important to eat well. And people think that eating well means eating boring things, but that's not necessarily the case. Like, for example, banana breads. I have like 1 million banana bread recipes on my site, and they are all really tasty. And the cool thing about banana bread is there are an infinite number of banana breads that you can make, and none of them even have to have banana in them. They are amazing.
Much of what we do is male campaigning. Our envelopes and postcards do contain pictures of animals, and because of this, people see us as their rescuers. These animals, be they pets or wild, are our equals, but they cannot speak. They purr and they lick when they're happy, and they bark and yell when they're not. And because of this, people find it easier and easier to treat them inhumanely. We must fight this.
So, do you do most of this male campaigning yourself?
So to speak. I am primarily an inspirational leader. I talk to people, I write blog posts, and I lead the male campaigning. I assist those who do so much for our dream of peace.
Well, that's really a noble cause in today's world.
Thank you.
So, what do people receive in the mail from you guys?
Well, most of our postcards, as you can see, contain beautiful little pictures of puppies and kittens. 2/3 of our appeals contain little doodads and gifts for our members to inspire them to incite change. The letters are usually membership or donation requests so that their voices can join ours in calling for a better world. Most of our postcards include pictures of cute animals that really touch people so that we can receive more donations this way. And don't worry, it's all very ethical because it's all for a beautiful cause. We spread messages about the abuse of pets, and we ask people to write messages to their abusers. We need to pull cruelty out at the roots. We show people that this problem is heinous and ever-growing, and we plead for donations so that we can stop this bloodshed.
What made you decide to pursue environmentalism?
Okay, well, as you know, I was once the head of a very large dry cleaning chain. And there was money to be made there, quite a bit of it, in fact, but I never felt like I was bettering the world. And do you know who betters the world? Do Brazil nuts better the world? Do goldfish better the world? No. Humans better the world. Only humans. Because we have knowledge and we have power, and that's why humans have to do, people like me have to do what all the goldfishes and dolphins and ferns in the world can never do, which is to save our planet. You know, logic is really simple when you think about it. Excuse me. Sorry.
So, what does being a vegan mean to you?
No, sorry. It's vegan, okay? It's not vegan, it's vegan. Right. So, I am a vegan because, like I said earlier, I think it's really important to eat healthy. Because, like they say, you know, your body is your temple, right? So you have to take really good care of it. And, like, I don't tell people to be vegan because I think that they're, like, living in sin or something. But, I mean, if you think about it, they totally are. Like, veganism is our way of life, you know? And we do it because, like, it's sacred, and veganism is treating your body right, and it's like treating innocent animals right. And, like, innocent animals, they have life too, and life is, like, sacred, and you should take good care of it. And oh my god! Like,
You know, I remember one of the campaigns you held a few years ago, actually.
oh, do you? You sweet child.
Yes. So, there was this dog in Oklahoma, Bow Wow,
Oh my!
and his owners abused him, and
Oh heavens!
eventually he died.
Oh, what a tragedy!
Yeah. The story really is quite heartbreaking.
It is. It is.
Well, but you ran a letter writing and fundraising campaign
Yes.
to prevent animal abuse.
Yes.
How did it go?
Oh, splendidly, of course. You know, we work so hard to protect the spirits of the wild that exist so willingly alongside us.
I thought Xenia was acting a bit strangely, so I researched Bow Wow's case. Turns out the event actually caused a large controversy because Bow Wow had really died 8 years before Xenia's fundraising campaign even started. It seems like it was just a scam for money, but perhaps the money was used for a great cause. You know, you must really receive a lot of funds through the mail, and I'm sure all that money goes to a great and noble cause.
Of course, of course.
What usually happens to it? The money?
Oh, well, a very large percentage goes to local pet shelters and alleviating the suffering of animals.
Oh, would you mind if I got a number on that?
Well, don't let this trick you, but 1% of our funds usually go to pet shelters, and a fifth of our efforts involve animals. And, you know, though people think we do, we don't run any local pet shelters, and we certainly don't oversee your local humane societies. I'm sorry, could I redo that? Of course, we have to pay the for-profit solicitation firms and inject money directly into the mail campaigns. Our primary goal was always to increase awareness of this enormous problem. The first goal is always recognizing and accepting the problem, then change. We help cute pets and animals regain their rights and be treated kindly as they should be.
So how do I become an activist like you?
Oh, well, you could start by visiting one of our project sites. I think that might give you an idea of what you might like to do. Here, I'll even come with you.
Your shark fin soup is ready, sir.
On second thought, I need to stay here. Activists need to eat too.
So what inspired you to start blogging?
Well, like, I'm really passionate about a lot of things, and also I'm a student right now, so I have a lot of free time, and I also have a lot of energy, so I decided to use those and, like, help make a difference, you know? And you can do it too, it's just little things. Like, I donate to a lot of charities, because I figure if they're getting money, then it has to be going to something, right? So, I mean, besides that, I also, like, I buy a lot of the pink ribbon stuff, and I buy Toms. Like, Toms are so cute. And also, I donate to, like, you know, the human rights stuff in Africa. Like, what's that place? Swaziland, or, like, Switzerland, or, you know, something like that.
I would think that smothering your letters and direct mail campaigns with cute animals would give sort of a misleading message if you don't actually give any money to animal shelters.
Honey, our subscribers do read the fine print.
You know, a cursory search on Google has shown me quite a few controversies. Complaints with the Federal Trade Commission. Euthanization of 95% of shelter animals. And it also says many shelters are frustrated that your humane society is misleading people, and also that they're getting so little from a $50 million national campaign. So, what does activism really mean to you then?
You know, I actually have an appointment right now. You know, diabetes, new diseases, insulin shots.
Wait, don't insulin shots require genetically modified animals?
You know, I really have to go. Call me.
And hasn't your organization firebombed animal testing agents?
Stop filming!
You know, everything I do, it's all just for the best.
I had admired Mr. White before, but after having met him, I was no longer sure how I really felt. In any case, I decided to take his advice and see what his projects were really like. First, the creek.
Is this where you live? What happened to this place?
And next, the windmill.
Look, like, you don't really seem convinced about what I just said about veganism, so come on, I'm gonna show you something, okay? Like, remember what I said about life being totally beautiful? Well, you're going to so love this. This is my vegan dog, Reggie. Hello there, boy. Isn't he cute?
Don't dogs need to eat meat?
No, you're getting preconceptions, you're letting them get ahead of you. See, dogs don't need to eat meat. Like, look at Reggie. He eats only vegetables. Isn't he cute? Like, just like what I said before, it's just about the little things, okay? That's all you need to do. You can, like, become a vegan too. You can change the world.
After seeing all of what had happened, I felt like I really needed to investigate, firsthand, just what Miss Morona was all about. Shortly after the premature end of our interview, Xenia stormed outside. Suddenly, I heard voices. Shouting voices. What is going on?
Like, Xenia, you were like an old hag, okay? And like, you suck. Yes, you! Because you are like, you call yourself an animal rights activist, but like, you are totally up to no good, and I know it.
You naive little girl, what do you know about me? I have saved the world. I have changed the world that you live in.
But I am like,
who are you to judge me?
But I am like a student who is going to change the world, okay? And like, you are old, actually, and like, you have totally stolen millions of dollars from the American people, and that includes me, okay? So you stole money from me, and like, that is not cool. So right now, what I am doing is I am like civilly disobeying you, like. I am going to peacefully protest this, okay? Like, see me, I am like protesting PETA, okay?
Like, you could really do that. I save the cats that you post on the internet. I save the little bunnies that
No, but I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to like peacefully like a Hondi, like Gandhi, you know, that guy, and like Emerson, and like MKL Jr. Like, I'm protesting it.
Like, you could really do that. And guess what? You really need me. You have this pathetic desire to feel like you're doing something with your life instead of sitting around letting it waste away. And when you throw money at me, you feel warm and fuzzy inside, and you just eat that up. So good luck wasting your life.
Their yelling faded into the distance, leaving behind only an empty silence. This project was not at all what I had imagined it to be. I thought I would see the hearts and minds of the people leading the wave of change in America. Instead, I met people who exploited noble causes for their own gain. I want no more of this. I'm done. This can't be right. These people that I'd always had so much respect for never seem to get anything done. This is what they mean by activism? No, I can't believe this. I need to talk to someone. I need to talk to the one man I can trust, my teacher, Mr. Satarkos.
Mr. Satarkos?
Caden, was it?
Yeah. I just finished my project.
Project. So, tell me what you did.
Well, I went around interviewing several famous people who were trying to change the world.
What did you think of them?
It was, well, yeah, I guess you said that. They're all really
Enthusiastic about what they do?
I'm not so sure. You see, they might be enthusiastic about what they do, but they're not getting anything done at all.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Do you have any evidence that what they're doing isn't helping?
Well, I met this guy who thought he was saving the environment by using plastic bags as tissues.
And who says plastic bags are bad for the environment?
Well, scientists, right?
Who says scientists are to be trusted? Half of them say one thing, half of them say another. You've heard of global warming, right?
Well, yeah, it's a serious problem, right?
But there's a whole bunch of people who think global warming is not but a sham.
What?
And governments think that there's need for something, they fund it, right? So these so-called scientists who say that global warming is real, they're just stealing from the pockets of the government.
Okay, but what about the vegan who thought she was changing the world by making one inane blog post?
And how do you know people don't visit her site?
Well, it was really poorly made.
And you think that's a reason people wouldn't visit it?
Wait, you're spinning loops around me.
Well, I think it's because you do not truly understand what activism is. How would you define activism?
Well, I'd say it's anything that makes a difference in the world, really.
And how do you make a difference?
You get out and do something. You got a bunch of people to agree with you, and you're good.
But these people you're talking to, they are making a difference. They're just doing it their own way, with their own methods. They're changing the world any way they can.
But
they're not making enough of a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
But why should activism be limited to direct conflict? Confrontations in the streets, sit-ins. Do we really need more wars, more change?
It's how things get done.
Look at Libya, Iran. Do you honestly think we need more of that uncontrolled change?
I'm not sure.
Do you really want more people to die?
Of course not, but...
Then you should appreciate what they're doing. By avoiding direct conflict, they're promoting peaceful forms of change. If you don't like war, if you don't like death, then you wouldn't favor your so-called real activism.
So what they're doing is making a difference. It's just a difference that's small enough so that they can avoid conflict, and they won't ruin everything they've stood for.
Exactly, sweetie.
Okay, I get it now. Thanks, Mr. Sitarkos. I'll be sure to write a blog post about it.
You go, child!